What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing day. Whether you're a liberal, a Democrat, a Republican, a conservative, a libertarian, a progressive, a Green Party, or you really don't even care about politics, this video is very, very important, and you should watch along and do the research yourself and see what you think, because I think it's very, very important what I'm about to tell you. It's not about left and right to me. It's not about conservative and liberal. It's about mental freedom versus mental slavery. It's about knowing how to think. It's about truth. It's about justice. It's about reality. It's about facts. So watch this video. I'm going to wait about 20 more seconds for people to get into the live stream. I usually don't like to do too much on Saturday and Sunday, but it's been such a bombshell weekend that I think this is the perfect opportunity to show you exactly how the media operates and why they are rightfully called the fake news media. So a lot of people think President Trump, because he is very sensitive, he's very aggressive and borderline arrogant, and sometimes people think that he hates the media, or he calls the media the fake news media because he's jealous, because they're doing journalism on him. That's what Oprah will tell you. She'll say, the press is under siege, the press is under attack, oh no, journalism's going to die thanks to Trump. It's a complete fabrication, it's a complete lie, and a lot, if not all of the news sources that Trump calls out as fake news media, I'm going to show you right now, and you could do the research yourself. I'm not a whistleblower. This is not like I have information. I'm not like James O'Keefe. I don't go undercover. That's not my style. I think it's a little unnecessary in some areas. So this is not something that's like revealing. It's something you can literally do on your own. If you have two eyes, even if you don't, if you have some sort of system or way to use the internet. I know there's many blind people who do use the internet. Much love. As always, you can check out my website, legendary.vision. The story's Dream Rare. My Instagram's Dream Rare. Twitter's Legendary Energy. But now on to exactly how the news media operates. So everybody saw there was a major bombshell story this week that President Trump called African nations and Haiti a shithole countries. And it's such a widespread report. It's everywhere. It's been on almost every single news station. It's been worldwide. It's global. It's been all over social media. It's gone so far that you have celebrities commenting on it. You have actual African countries demanding an apology from Trump. And I pointed out this all started from a Washington Post article. And if you read the original article of the Washington Post, there were 3 references in the Washington Post article where they talked about who said that Trump said that they were shithole countries. And they never named a name. It was an anonymous source. They didn't even tell you that they were in the meeting. They said, somebody familiar with the meeting. That's as close as they could get to the source. Is someone familiar with the meeting? So the Washington Post and the conglomerates around them, the MSNBC, CNN, but it started with the Washington Post. They're such a powerful news organization that they can take an unsourced, unproven, heavily debated, anonymous, literally a rumor. They can make a rumor into a global outrage to the point where African nations will be demanding from the President of the United States an apology for a rumor. We can debate all day whether it was said or not. It's not been proven. I'm just talking about the facts. This was not a report with audio evidence, with video evidence, with actual quotes from any senators. It was an anonymous source, unnamed, that said that they were familiar with the meeting and familiar with people in the meeting. That's the reality. Fast forward 2 or 3 days, and please, whether you're extremely left-leaning liberal or extremely right-leaning conservative, bear with me and just hear me out. You can make your own decisions. I don't care, like I say always, I don't care what you think. I could care less. I care how you think. I care that you're able to think, because if you don't think, you will be manipulated, lied to, and used by the fake news media. So that's the story that dominated the whole week. Now on to stories with actual evidence. There's the FBI and the Justice Department is investigating Hillary Clinton and the Uranium One scandal. The media has for over a year now called it a conspiracy theory, even though there's an entire documentary about it called Clinton Cash, where they word for word go in on each person and how they basically sold the United States out to Russia. And once again, that's up for your interpretation. But within the last 2 or 3 days, an 11-part indictment was handed out to somebody involved in the Uranium One scandal on accounts of stuff like Russian bribery. The story is that Hillary Clinton, under the Obama administration, and other people signed off on it as well, sold a large portion of the United States uranium, 20% approximately, for about $140 billion. And the reports and the investigation that's happening now is trying to figure out whether they just sold it because it was in the United States' best interest, or if all of the money, which there's many reports that say so, were funneled through the Clinton Foundation, and it was basically a pay-to-play scheme. You pay me, and we'll literally sell the country out. And, I mean, that's what politicians have been doing for the past 40, 50 years, if you haven't been paying attention. They've been selling out to foreign nations. They've been selling out to pharmacy industries. I mean, they don't even hide it. Literally, politicians is a synonym for a sellout, for someone who will take money and just lie to you. That's what they do. I mean, I don't understand how the news media made everybody think that Trump's the worst thing ever and no one else has done anything wrong. I mean, that's what politicians are. So, 11 indictments, 11-part indictment in the Uranium One scandal. Washington Post did not post a single article about it. And I'm not saying to say that this, that, or this or that. Just it happened, not even put it out. No Washington Post article about it. No CNN article about it. No MSNBC. You could search for yourself. If you search Clinton indictment, and I'm going to tell you, this is how they play people. This is how they play liberals. This is how they play progressives. And, you know, one day it'll be conservatives and Republicans too. I'm not here to defend them. I'm telling you the truth of what happens. If you don't want to hear it, it's up to you. But no articles from CNN, MSNBC, NBC, Washington Post, or New York Times. When you search for this, that it 100% happened, the 11-part indictment in the Uranium One scandal, all you find are news sources like The Blaze, which is Glenn Beck's. You find Breitbart. You find Town Hall and WND. And the media, the for lack of a better word, liberal media, and the George Soros and the David Brocks and the Washington Post and the CNN and the New York Times, they have branded Breitbart and WND and The Blaze as just kooky, crazy, conservative, right-wing conspiracy theories. And I'm not even a huge fan of those news sources specifically. I'm not like their number one fan here to support them. But this is how they play you. They can make an entire, and this happened, whether you're a left-leaning liberal, bleeding heart liberal, or a die-hard conservative, this absolutely happened this week. A story that actually happened, 11 indictments in the Uranium One scandal, nowhere to be found on mainstream media. They acted like it never even happened and made an entire manufactured global outrage over a rumor at best. This is how the fake news media works. And then if you read these news sources, if you're a liberal or a progressive, like I once was, you'll say, oh my God, Fox News, Breitbart, they're the worst. And I'm not here to say that they're the greatest. I'm me. I'm not them. If I worked for them, I would work for them, but I don't because I do my own thing. That's how they get you. So you see, oh, that must be fake news. No. The fake news is the fact that they globally manufactured outrage to the point where there's actual countries demanding an apology for something that started from an article that has no sources, an anonymous source of somebody that might have been involved with one of the people in the meeting. And it's been heavily contested. It's been debated about. It's actually opened a very honest debate between both sides about actual issues and stuff. But this is how the fake news media operates. And this is how they brainwash people using race, religion, and gender. Hate Trump, hate Breitbart, hate all these people. That's fine. But they've manufactured this whole non-existent reality that doesn't exist, where they can literally, for an entire year, they manufactured an entire 1900s era McCarthyism Red Scare, where they have put out so much anti-Russia propaganda. They have Morgan Freeman doing it. They asked Moby to share an article. They're telling all the celebrities to do it. And they have no proof of any sort of Russia collusion with President Trump. After a year and a half, you don't really hear about it anymore because they never had any proof. They said that Russia hacked the Washington Post, did another global outrage. Russia hacked the power grid of Vermont. It was a fake story from the beginning. They retracted it weeks later because it was literally a fictional fabrication that they made up. This is why they're called the fake news media. It's not because they criticize Trump and they do good journalism against Trump. I wish they did good journalism against Trump. I wish they talked about spying and oversight from the intelligence communities and the war in Afghanistan. I wish they did that type of journalism, but they don't. They're the fake news media. They completely fabricate entire stories. They can turn the United States into a fictional movie that everybody believes and watches TV because they use their emotions. I don't care if you like Trump or hate Trump, but the fake news media is the fake news media. They will create a whole fabricated reality for an entire year. that everybody believes, even though it can start from an unsourced, unproven, unclaimed, oh, an anonymous person that might have been in touch with this person said this, and they act like it's gospel. They act like it's fact. They don't tell you that it's not proven. They don't tell you that the source is anonymous, and most of the time they don't even have people saying it. They don't know it's Democrats or people involved in the government that just don't like Trump, and they're very vocal about it. I mean, Washington Post has in the headline, "Democracy dies in darkness." I mean, they're not hiding the fact that they don't like President Trump. But that's fine. It's not a like or hate game. This is how much they play you. 11 indictments in the Uranium One scandal. When it's all said and done, I will be very, very surprised if the Russian bribery and the Russia collusion didn't come from the Uranium One deal. I mean, I've seen the documentary years ago, so I know who's colluding with Russia. I know who's colluding with foreign governments. I know who's colluding with industries all across the United States and selling the United States out. It's not President Trump. If it was, they would have got him already. And if it turns out to be, we'll see. But when information comes out that indictments are handed out and there is Russian bribery, they're completely silent. They don't care about Russia collusion. They've never cared about Russia collusion. They create an alternate reality that doesn't exist through unproven claims and fictional writing, and they're so powerful that if the Washington Post puts it out, everybody will cover it and everybody will believe it, even though they will never check the original source. And when something comes out that is completely real, completely factual, completely accurate, completely provable, audio evidence, video evidence, everything, even if it's in the same category of what the Washington Post, New York Times, CNN, and MSNBC pretend to be caring about, they won't cover it. They'll just be silent about it. So then when you search it, the only ones you'll see talking about it are The Blaze and Breitbart and Fox News and Alex Jones. And if you're a left-leaning person, you'll be like, oh, that must be fake because I don't like all these people. No, it's real. It's just that the fake news media won't cover it because they've already played you. They've created a whole alternate reality with their news sources. They can lie, cheat, steal, be a PR team for the most corrupt politicians. They can do exactly what they accuse the opposition of doing. They'll accuse Trump of colluding with Russia, even though their darling politicians actually colluded with Russia. There's proof ninefold. There's even audio evidence of Barack Obama on a hot mic whispering to somebody Russian. He's like, yo, I'll have a lot more flexibility after I'm out of president, bro. He's like, we'll talk later. It's on video and audio, and they'll never report on it. So then when you find that stuff, and then they demonize anybody outside of them. So they control 95% of the media. They demonize any other news publication that's not them. And just like Malcolm X said, they have the power to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent look guilty. They control the minds of the masses. And that's exactly what, to this day, they still do. Nothing is more clear than this week. They've literally created a national, global outrage over an anonymous, unproven, unsourced rumor. And when a fact, a reality, when something actually happens that has to do with Russian bribery and the investigation that's going on, they won't even put a single article out about it. They will act like it doesn't exist. And I don't pick sides. I don't read Fox News. I don't read Breitbart. But even them, for as bad as the news says that they are, they'll even cover it. Even if it's biased, even if they have a political bias. I've never seen anything like it. The New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, and MSNBC, it's not just that they're biased. People think, oh, I know, I get it. Like Trump's bias and Fox's bias and Breitbart's bias and Alex Jones's bias and then MSNBC's bias. No. It's not like that. I wish it was because I'm a true liberal at heart. I believe in real liberal values. I believe in helping people, helping the poor, helping people that are underprivileged or discriminated against. I believe in that. I wish it was that, but it's not. It's that the fake news media masquerades as the all-being bearers of liberalism, and they create an alternate reality that is pure scripted fiction, pure rumor, and they don't have any credibility, they don't have any integrity. They will lie, cheat, steal, manipulate the masses, use people, use Latinos, use black people, use white people, use Asians, use whoever for votes. They have no shame, no integrity, and I don't know how you could watch this video, do your own research. I don't know how you could support an organization like that. If you do, that's fine. I'm not here to hate and judge. It's all love. I don't even really like making videos like this because I don't like to attack people. I believe in creating the new, not building the old. But this is how much of a mind control manipulation they have on the press. Global outrage over a rumor, complete silence over something that actually happened. And I'm not saying that you can't report on a rumor, but at least say it's a rumor, open the discussion. They don't need a source. That's how dumb people are. That's how dumb people are. If they don't like President Trump, they'll believe anything. And it could go Republican as well for people. Oh, you do. I hear you. It could go the same. When George Bush was in, I'm sure they did the same to Republicans and whatnot. I'm not talking about the past. I'm not talking about hypotheticals. I'm talking about the reality that we live in. I'm sorry if it offends you and doesn't slant in your direction right now. It's not my fault. It's just what's happening. The mainstream media that masquerades as unbiased, accurate news, they are not only 1,000% biased, they are fiction writers. They are fantasy writers who will create this alternate reality to distract you from the real things that are happening. They will make global outrage over an unproven rumor, yet when there's slave trade and organ harvesting among Africans in an African country from a leader that they helped kill, from a mess that they helped implement, they won't talk about it. And then people tell me, oh, Anomaly, what are you backtracking? And I'm backtracking by telling you that African slave trade and organ harvesting and actual indictments are more important than a fictional rumor. That's me no, that's you backtracking because you're so brainwashed by the fake news media. They've convinced you that your feelings and unproven words are more important than people, human beings being enslaved, physically enslaved, sold for $500 in a country across the world. They've convinced you that unproven, unclaimed rumors are more important than that. I don't understand it. I'll never be able to understand it. I'm going to keep reporting and making videos like this. Please do your own research. Check it out. Google Clinton indictments, and you will find out, even though that it happened, the mainstream media, the people that have been screaming, the people that have been screeching and yelling about Russian collusion for a year, they'll not say anything because they've never, ever cared about actual Russian collusion. They care about manipulating the masses of the U.S. to have them running in one direction and be able to control them. If they own all of these corporations and they own all of this and they control all of these news organizations, and Twitter works with them, Facebook works with them, Google works with them, everyone just bows down to them, and the only ones that will report it, they've already demonized those news sources. So then when those news sources report it, you won't believe it because they've demonized them. That's how you put a whole monopoly on people's minds. That's how you completely control the population. And unfortunately for them, it's just not working anymore. I mean, you see some of these fake news videos they put out. They try to, oh, this person said that. And you go on YouTube and they got 10,000 dislikes, 20 up likes, and the comments are filled with, you guys are fake news. We know who you are. We know what you're doing, and you're not going to get away with this. When the fake politicians tweet, they're bombarded with people. There are millions of people who know the truth. There are tens of millions of people who know the truth. There might be hundreds of millions of people who know the truth, and it's not going away. These people are not going to get away with it, and the fake news media is rightfully collapsing because left-leaning people know they're lying. Right-leaning people know they're lying. There's just still, unfortunately, a very large population of people who have really good hearts, really good souls. I'm not going to be, oh, you're a snowflake, you're this and that. No, I'm not upset today. I'm not going to call you names. I understand that you don't like President Trump. I understand that you don't like conservative values. And I understand 1,000% where you're coming from because, believe it or not, we probably overlap on more than 50, 60, 70, 80% of policy. But does that mean that the New York Times and the Washington Post and CNN and MSNBC are telling you the truth because you don't like Trump and it must be true, or it feels good to say that, share that article, and you feel like a better person because you're like, yes, I've shared this article. Trump's a bad person. He's racist, sexist, xenophobic. He shouldn't say this. He shouldn't do this. We got to get this out there. You're being played. I don't know. You could find a bunch of other people that'll lie to you and pat you on the back and tell you you're doing a good job. I'm a true friend, though. I'm a real person. I'm going to tell you, you're being manipulated, you're being used, you're being exploited for your emotions, for your understandable emotions, for your justified emotions. I'm not going to say that they're wrong and you shouldn't feel that way, but you are 1,000% being exploited by the fake news media when they can create a global outrage that has global leaders asking for apologies on an unproven, unsourced, anonymous rumor, and then physical, actual things can happen, and they just won't even talk about it. They'll act like it doesn't exist. And this is not new. This is what they've been doing forever. It's why Malcolm X told you they have the power to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent look guilty. That's how powerful they are. They can put out a rumor, an accusation from one person, from two people, from five people. It's not hard. The planet, if you haven't noticed, is filled with billions of people. So to get 10 people to say something or one person to say something, it's not very hard to do. It's very easy. Write about it, post it online, and people will believe it. I mean, that's how easy it is. There's no laws protecting it. There's no oversight. There's people who bend over backwards to act like they're doing a good job. They have the power, and they've been using it to just make up stuff. That's why when I tell you stuff, I say research on your own. I'm not telling you. It's not like I have inside information. I just have two eyes. Good eyesight, luckily. If you don't, doesn't matter. I'm sure you could read anyway. Just look. I don't know. Look at how the news operates. They're the fake news media, Facebook, Twitter, and Google should be ashamed of working with them. They will be ashamed. They already are probably feeling the heat, and it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And if you want to sink with the House of Cards, and you want to sink with the ship of fake news who have been covering up the world's worst atrocities of the 21st century and beyond, I guess that's what you want to be. I guess that's what they want to be. But they should and will be ashamed of what they're doing. And I don't know if they've noticed it yet, but they will, because the fake news media is out of control. They're not even trying anymore. They're not even trying. They've had to retract so many stories. They get one person to say something, do this, they can make global outrage. I don't care what skin color or religion you are. Look at the article, look at what they're saying, and try to figure out who these people are, because they just want us running in circles like hamsters on wheel. Everything's racist, everything's sexist. Oh my God, oh my God. Even if someone does say something racist, get that person, do accordingly and move on. They have us on this hamster wheel, and it's no mistake. But check out that example I just told you. I mean, it couldn't be more blatantly obvious. They're such failures. They're blaming the president about some Hawaiian employee pressing a button. It's like they don't even try anymore. They don't even try to make sense anymore. I understand that you don't like the president. I've said that a million times. I get it. I get that. But they're not even trying to be honest anymore. They're not even trying. It's like they hit a button. They're like, oh my God, President Trump ruined the world. It's like, you hit the button. Someone else hit the button. That's not, they'll like smack themselves in the head and blame Trump. Fall off their bicycle and blame, like they're not even trying anymore. I get that you're upset or something, but like they're not even trying. They're not even trying to be real news organizations. They're fake news media, fake news organizations, and my message to them, if they're watching, is tell the truth, because you're not going to be able to get away with it. You're failing. You're losing money. You're losing support. Authenticity goes a long way. The truth goes a long way. The House of Cards is collapsing. And if you want to save your careers and save your integrity in the new world that we have created, just tell the truth a little more. I don't want to be bigger than CNN or MSNBC. I'm not trying to take your money. I'm sure you got a bunch of women and, you got all the drugs and the parties and stuff, whatever you guys do when you're off hours. Do you. I'm not trying to. You're a rock star, get it. You're on CNN, you're on MSNBC, you're on New York Times, you're a journalist, you're the man. I'm not trying to take your job, but just tell the truth and you could still be the man. You guys could still make more money than me. You guys could still be bigger news organizations than me. You could have all the women and all the parties and, whatever else you do. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm not trying to ruin your life. You're going to ruin your own life. You're going to be like Hillary Clinton, where you do all this cheating and lying and stealing. You guys lie. And then you lose the election. You're going to keep losing. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to ruin your news organization. You're ruining your news organization. You ruined the election. You elected Donald Trump. I didn't elect Donald Trump. I didn't even vote for Donald Trump. You elected Donald Trump. You helped him get into office. You nonstop talked about him. You picked Hillary Clinton. You cheated Bernie Sanders. You lied to everybody. You told everybody it was something that it wasn't. You told everybody this is why President Trump is popular, and it's not true. You lie about everything, and then you wonder why you're losing. So I'm trying to help you win. You do you. You be the man. You know, have the big buildings and all the employees and stuff, but the fake news is going to catch up to you, man. Women, whatever, your choice, gender, one of the 50,000 genders of your choice, whatever you want to be you, do you, I don't care. But the fake news media, I will continue to call the fake news media because they are so fake, they will make global outrage over a rumor and not even report a basic truth because it's not in their best interest. That's who they are. Just know who they are if you read them. They're not unbiased news organizations. They're not even biased news organizations. They are fictional fantasy writers who have not even a shred of integrity. If it goes in their direction, they'll throw it out. And there's people on the right who do the same thing. I follow conservatives, and just to be fair, on Twitter, that will do the same thing. But guess what? I don't retweet them, I don't share them, and I don't co-sign them. I think they're ridiculous, and I don't believe them either. So it goes both ways. It's not just people on the left, but it's like individuals, for the most part, on the right, and it's like entire news organizations and all the social media, 95% of the media. That's why I talk about it, because it's bigger, it's more important, it's more vital. There's liars on the right. There's people on the right who freak out and will make a big story over everything they read. It goes both ways, but this is just how it is. Take it or leave it. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing weekend. As always, I'm going to put my links below. DreamRare.com if you want to pick up a shirt, support in the physical realm, and a rare hat. My donor box if you would like to support financially. I appreciate it. If not, that's cool. And also, my email list is free. Let me guys know I'm launching my own news organization soon. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it short, to the point. We're never going to post an entire fabricated story based off anonymous claims. That's just not how it's going to work. We're going to be, hopefully, the realest news organization out there. So we'll see. Thank you guys so much. Have a good weekend.